everyone. You are here with me, the Queen, with Questions with the Queen. I know yesterday we did something for our video on the ring apron where we actually decided to put it across the screen for the CDC and the funding that they're doing. If that is taking place, I would like for everyone to donate if you can, even if it's just a little bit. That's okay. It's better than nothing. With that being said, today's edition, as you can see, is Money in the Bank, and as you can see on our board, it's top rope spoiler. So if you tune in tonight at 7, yes, 7, then you're going to be able to see my picks as well as Steve's, who is the cameraman and the question man for today. Hello, Steve.
Hello, I'm over here.
So if you tune in tonight at 7, you will be able to see our predictions and our explanations for why we picked who we pick. So, yeah. I'm excited. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the questions. If you have any questions you want me to answer about tonight, or as well as today for this show, please feel free to ask. That'd be great.
You can either include them in your in the comments down below, or they're actually next to the comment box. There is a square that has a question mark in the middle of it, and you actually can type in your question, and it'll get added to the list of ones that I'm inputting in as we speak. But with that being the case, as you mentioned, this is a Money in the Bank themed question show today. So the first question that we were presented was, when you hear the words Money in the Bank as a fan, what goes through your mind?
For me, it's excitement. It's opportunity for the person that is actually holding the briefcase. It's letting me take the time to see that there is one select person that may not get a chance to actually have a title shot, but with Money in the Bank, it's giving them a chance to actually go ahead and grab, not only the briefcase, a play on words, but at the same time, the contract in it to get the title of their choosing, men and women. But for me, it's exciting to watch because I like how it all plays out.
Our next one coming in is, what former Money in the Bank winner has been your favorite?
Okay, my former Money in the Bank winner, the one that has been my absolute favorite, I'd have to say Seth Rollins. You know how big of a fan I am. I honestly, my husband says I'm a stan. I don't see it, but, whatever. So, when he cashed in at WrestleMania while Brock and Roman were fighting each other, and he just said, out of the blue, I'm going to actually cash in, and he cashed in, and he actually won. His celebration afterwards was exciting. I love that one. That will probably be my number one favorite. Also, to let you know, for my birthday that year, I had actually wished for him to actually cash in the Money in the Bank. And obviously, my wish came true because I didn't tell nobody until afterwards. So, yay.
I can vouch for this. I was not told about this going into it, but she was very excited about it.
I was literally, if you go back, I think in one of the videos that Steve has recorded on his YouTube channel on the ring apron, there is a video with me up in arms about how excited I saw him when he came out, as well as the tears and all the excitement of him not only snagging the title, but actually doing it around his head. One of his favorite things to do, by the way.
I'll see if I can find that. I know I still have it on YouTube, and I'll see if I can find that later on.
That'd be great.
Add it to our Instagram. Okay, well, kind of going the other direction with it, what former Money in the Bank winner, in your opinion, has been the biggest waste of the championship opportunity?
I'd have to say King Corbin. I feel like he had a chance. He won it, and he did not hold it very long before he was goaded into actually putting it on the line. And with that being said, I feel like, he could have done more with it. I feel like as a king, as he holds himself to a higher standard like Charlotte, I feel like he'd have held the briefcase a little longer. He shouldn't have been goaded into it. But for me, I feel like his reign was kind of a waste. It was, got the briefcase, cashed it in, and then nothing more came of it. So I was kind of disappointed by that because I did like him.
Well, also, he was goaded in by Cena, and then he loses to Cena that weekend. So
as much as I love Cena, I wish he hadn't have done that. But, it's just a matter of, are they going to take the bait? And obviously he did. So, to me, that was the biggest waste. But, with that being said, maybe, just maybe, this go-around he might be able to do something with it if he is to win. Not saying that's my pick, just saying if he is to win this go-around.
It's actually a nice segue into our next question.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to this Sunday, either the men's or the women's, you're allowed to pick one person, either from each or just a single person. Who on Sunday needs to win the most? Not necessarily who's going to win, because we're not going to give our picks here, but who needs a Money in the Bank win?
In my opinion, I feel like it's Otis. And the reason I state that is because I I love Otis, don't get me wrong. I love heavy machinery. I love everything they stand for. But I feel like with Tucker being gone, Otis has had a decent push as of late. I feel like he would be the perfect person who would need it, because honestly, I don't think he would get it any other way. And not to be mean when I say that, but that's just, that's who I think needs it the most. According to everyone that's up there, he does.
Gotcha. All right. If you could be able to select next year's men's and women's winners, with the condition being that they are not in the matches this year, who would you be picking?
Okay, now for my woman, all hands, I'm picking Sasha. I feel like she should have been in this year. Sasha Banks. Sorry, I feel like she should have been in this year, but with everything that took place, as you can see, she is not. So that's who I would love for the women for next year, obviously. I want to see her go for that briefcase. I want to see her go for that contract, and I want to see her get her SmackDown title, women's title, if at all possible. Now for the men, I do not have a clue right now. Honestly, if I had to, I'm going to say The Miz. Y'all know I love The Miz, so honestly, if he could be put in next year and he could win a title of his choosing, I would say him.
Miz being a former winner himself, so that'd be certainly an interesting pick. He certainly knows how to win the match and also how to use it. And speaking of using it, what is your favorite Money in the Bank cash-in up to this point?
I would have to say Dolph. Dolph was my favorite. And the reason I say that is because I feel like he deserved that. I feel like it was deserving. And, for me, that cash-in saved the weekend, in my opinion. It was exciting. It was thrilling. You didn't see it coming, but you wanted it to happen. And when you saw him pop out, behind the stage, and as he's running down, you're just all that excitement within him, and you are kind of building. Honestly, when he cashed in, it was a big celebration, and that, to me, was probably my most favorite out of all of them.
Next question, and that kind of leads on to a segue into it. Have we seen any cash-ins live?
We have seen 3 cash-ins to my knowledge. I know we saw Seth, because I just explained how excited I was and how Steve got the reaction video before and after. We've also seen Dolph, which is one of my other favorites, and I believe we've seen Sheamus, if I remember correctly. So yes, I have seen 3 up to this point, live.
No, actually there was a 4th one. We saw Carmella's as well. We saw Carmella right after WrestleMania.
That's right, I forgot. I am so sorry. If she is paying attention, I'm sorry we forgot you, Mela. It was not on purpose.
Well, I was trying to think back myself as to if we've actually, how many we've seen.
But they've all been exciting. I've loved the way they went about cashing it in when they cashed it in. So yeah.
Well, the whole concept behind it is the fact that it can happen anytime. It keeps you tuned in, and you're finally excited when the anticipation and the build-up happens.
It keeps you on your toes too. So yeah, that's great.
Okay. Next question: if you could make one change to this year's setup, with the whole unique thing of being inside of the either a person that's in it or it being at the corporate headquarters, if you could make one change to this year's setup, what would it be?
I would probably say I would like to see it one at a time, because again, like I've said in our past episodes, I feel like there's going to be a bunch of confusion with men and women in the same building fighting for 2 different briefcases. I feel like that, to me, also could kind of be dangerous if you're running around and you're not paying attention and your focus is on the briefcase, gotta get to the briefcase. I feel like that would be the change. I would like to see them done separately instead of together.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be an interesting concept with the matches happening at the same time.
All I'm going to say to those people, tonight, but when you do this, please take the time to be careful, watch out for one another, and get to the briefcases without getting hurt.
With that being said, what about this year's concept actually excites you the most?
Again, I know that I said I wanted it to be done separately, but the fact that it's going to be done together, getting to see how the men and getting to see how the women are going to actually be able to work together in the same building to get to do 2 different briefcases. I like it, and I know it's kind of going back, but I like the fact that they're actually there together. makes me want to see if you got people who are willing to work together, if you got people who are not, who are, who's going to get there the fastest, who's going to do it, who's going to mentally be able to say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to get there, and physically make it to the top, make it to the ladder, make it up to get the briefcase.
Any particular chance that there might be some unexpected male and female, deals or interactions to where maybe some folks maybe team up a little bit to try to each win their own respective match?
I feel like, to me, if it was me and I was in it, I feel like that'd be the smart thing to do, is find people that that will help you or assist you to getting to the top. That way you could win. Looking at it, I could possibly see maybe Lacey and Nia teaming up, only because Lacey has teamed up this week with Tamina, and that they're family. I could see Mela and Dana probably working together, because they did try to go for the tag titles. As far as the men, I do not see anyone in this match wanting to help anyone. I think they're all out for themselves.
I think it was more along the lines of a male and female working together. Like, could you potentially see, because Carmella and Dana will only, team up to a certain point. But could you maybe see something like, a Rey Mysterio on the brink of winning, and then Nia Jax tosses him off the ladder just because she feels like it, could something like that happen? So there's certainly some uniqueness with both matches happening simultaneously.
I don't know. Again, my answer is we'll have to wait and see. I don't know.
Okay, our next one, would you at some point like to see NXT get its own Money in the Bank ladder match?
Heck yeah, I would love that. With everything that NXT has done and has gone through and has been through, with them invading the main rosters on Raw and SmackDown, with them literally showing out at the pay-per-views and just doing it real big, why not? That would be honestly a good NXT takeover at some point with ladder matches. We've seen them do cage matches, so that'd be great. How would that work? What kind of briefcase would they have? Would that work? That is a very good question. I would love to see that. Make it happen, Triple H. Make it happen.
Put it in there. Okay, next one. As the tagline suggests for this year, in your opinion, is the risk worth the reward?
Oh, gosh.
As you mentioned about safety earlier, but at the same time, an almost guarantee that you're going to become world champion during the year. Is it worth it?
I believe the risk is worth the reward, even though it does terrify me that there could be a lot that goes on that's not safe. In my opinion, if you're really here and you really want to go for a title, I say go for it all out. I still say be safe, but go for it all out. Get what you deserve. So yes, I do feel like the risk is worth the reward.
Okay, and our final question listed out this week for Money in the Bank. Without revealing your pick, because that'll be done later.
Yes, on our show, Top Rope Spoilers, so at 7, stay tuned.
Without revealing your pick, what is one thing you want to make sure that happens in tonight's match? If you could pick one thing outside of there being a winner, obviously, that you want to see happen tonight, or tomorrow in tomorrow's match, what would it be?
Oh gosh, I'd like to see some shenanigans with a couple of the matches. I'd like to see, a little bit of interference. I'd like to see some people come out and try to assist these people in the matches. Even if they've already had a match, come out and help who they feel is deserving to win the match. So I'd love to see that, honestly. Just a little bit of shenanigans,
I think with all the talk of someone getting chucked off a roof, I think, someone's going to get thrown off the roof of that building.
That, and AJ brought it up. That makes me scared a little bit. And Alistair has, sat here and confronted him, or actually have mentioned, that at any point in time during that match, it could happen. So, I am kind of afraid for AJ. I think he kind of opened his mouth a little more than he probably should have. But, we saw what he did in the casket, grave match with The Undertaker. And obviously he came back from that. So if he gets thrown off a building and comes back from that, at that point he's unstoppable. So with that being said, later on tonight, like I've said a couple of times in the show, we will be having Top Rope Spoilers with me and my husband Steve. And that will be tonight at 7. So please tune in to hear our predictions as well as our explanations for the show and why we picked those people. Also, with that being said, for everybody that has tuned in, I'm glad that you tuned in with questions with the Queen for Money in the Bank edition. I will have another one next week where we can get back to asking just, questions you may want to know, questions from if I've been here, there, or whatever is on your mind. So, yeah. Also, don't forget, stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, take the time to actually, if you have to go out, wear your gloves, wear your mask, and be safe, because I wanted to get back into these arenas. I want to see my wrestling family. And with that being said, I hope that y'all tune in tonight at 7, and I love you all. Thank you for watching Questions with the Queen. Love you guys. Bye.